My name is Yancy. Welcome to my page, Chasing Yancy. You can find content here or on my YouTube page. I'm going to talk to you today about something that I have been discussing for the past couple of days. I want to talk about the dilemma that women have been having regarding their careers and being unmarried. This is something that women have avoided having this conversation. For whatever reason, I did a post last week and I invited tons and tons of women to come and express their side. I did not have anybody show up to share. So I'm going to do it monologue style and see if anybody wants to tap in. You are more than welcome to come in and explain your side. But I want to talk to you about why it's so hard for so many boss babes to get married. I'm going to say things that are going to be more than likely triggering. And so if you are not in a place to listen with an open mind, I recommend that you either don't watch this or you try to have an open mind, okay? Just to give you some perspective, ladies, the reason I'm sharing this information is coming from a place of love. I want you to win. It would be like somebody saying, I want to get water, but I'm keep walking into the desert. So if I know where the water is, I'm going to point them in that direction. I'm not going to encourage them to keep walking into the desert. Yes, girl. Yes, queen. If I were to do that, knowing the water is this way, I would not be your sister. So there are many women and men online who mean absolutely well. And they're like, yes, queen, find your water in the desert. Yes. And they will cheer you all the way there. On the other hand, I look at statistics. And the chance of finding water in a desert is, I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'm not going to say it's impossible. But would I recommend it to anyone? Hell no. I'm going to recommend you go to a well. I'm going to recommend you go to the grocery store where there's cold, bottled water. I'm going to recommend you go to a lake. Literally anywhere but the desert. So, a lot of you guys are marching towards the desert and getting angry when people are saying, sis, the water's this way. Okay, so that's the energy that I'm coming with. Hopefully you have ears to hear. I did a post the other day and I said, if you don't want to be with a man who makes less than you, let's have this conversation. And excuse me, my love, will you please get me the little papers on my desk? Hold on, guys. I completely forgot. I had some things I didn't want to forget. You guys just hold tight there, okay? My handy dandy assistant has AirPods in, could not hear me. Totally oblivious on TikTok. Anyway, I give this a lot of thought, okay? So I want to share some things that I was going to share on my show on Monday, but nobody showed up to the conversation. And so we're going to have the conversation now. Ladies, you say that you don't want to be with a man who makes less money than you. And I invite you to consider why. Like, really think about it. The answer is going to be, you just don't like it. That's not what a real man does. Okay, that. Is there any other answer that you can think of that a woman would say why she doesn't want to be with a man? It's not that she's not making it on her own. So she can't say it's because he's not providing, because she's got provision. So what is the reason a woman doesn't like a man to make less than her? The only logical conclusion is that it just doesn't seem manly. Dare I say, it doesn't feel like he has enough masculine energy. Now, what if a man said, hey girl, let's go get our nails done, and he's totally straight? What would a woman say? Ooh, he doesn't have enough masculine energy. What if a rat ran across the floor as you're traveling on the subway and he goes, ah! Totally straight. Would you like that? Probably not. You would say he doesn't have enough masculine energy. What if his mom agreed to look out for him and let him live in her studio apartment in the back of her house, and he claimed that he was there to help his mom, but he was living with his mom at 40 years old. Didn't have a career, just kind of did odd jobs. Would you like him? Probably not. Why? Because you would say he doesn't have enough masculine energy. You would actually probably be aggressive and say he's not a real man. Now, if you have preferences for strong masculine energy, because obviously he has some masculine energy because he's straight. Well, you could have masculine energy and not straight, so scratch that. He has some masculine energy, okay? So obviously there's a little bit of attraction there. But when you find out certain aspects, you are turned off. Why is it that you never consider that he needs feminine energy in return? You clearly can define what is not masculine, but if a man dares to define what is not feminine, he is the scum of the earth. He is a chauvinist. He is a pig. He is immature. What I don't like are double standards. Goose, gander, pot, kettle. What is good for one should be good for the other. So if you get to say to a man, I like you, you're sexy, everything is good, except you're not providing, which means you have less masculine energy than I prefer, why won't you be open to what feminine energy is to a man? I'll wait. This is the reason why so many men struggle to have relationships with women that are successful. This is why so many men struggle to respect women, because there is so much hypocrisy. You see, a man is okay with providing for a woman. He's okay with marrying her for potential. She could literally still live in her daddy's house, have never had a job in her life, and he will still take her. Why? If she has feminine energy, he finds her intoxicating. If that woman is feminine and sweet and loving and nurturing, she's not combative, she's very agreeable, she's kind to everyone she meets, and she's so anxious to learn and be taught, he does not give a crap about what she brings to the table. He's actually kind of insulted if she reaches for her wallet, because he's like, I got that, babe. That's because he is drawn to feminine energy. And it's not something he sat around and doodled in his journal. One day I'm going to want a woman with feminine energy. No, it's in his wiring. Just like it's in your wiring to want to have provision. People are quick to throw out energy unless it works in their favor. A man could be completely qualified in every other aspect, kind, compassionate, trustworthy, loving. Oh, but if he doesn't have the provision, he's trash. Someone literally referred to a man as trash. Literally, the only thing that they knew about this guy was that he made less than the woman. And it was a hypothetical situation. So if someone is willing to call someone trash simply because they don't provide financially, how is that any worse than someone simply saying, I would like you to be feminine? So what the women are saying is, I'm not going to even look and see what feminine energy looks like. I'm actually going to exhibit masculine energy. And then I'm going to be offended when a masculine man is repelled by masculine energy. Even in homosexual relationships, you do not see masculine energy pairing with masculine. Have you ever noticed that? You don't see two butch chicks together that often, if ever. You don't typically see two cis chicks together. Why? Because energy needs to be opposite. Energy needs to be opposite. Otherwise, it repels. So women, you are saying, I don't want a man who is not in his masculine energy, but I need a man who is okay with me also not being in my feminine energy. So really consider this. And I hope you guys share this video, because a lot of times people will get on here and make content that is titillating and, shocking and all this stuff, but they don't back it up. I'm not trying to have shock value. I'm really trying to get women to open up and see, because the world has been lying to you. The world is saying you can have masculine energy and still attract a masculine man. It doesn't work that way in the Matrix. The only way around that is if you leave the Matrix and you tap into divine energy. But most people don't want to tap into divine energy, because that requires work. That requires going out of your comfort zone. That requires you to better yourself. I have a course on it. So far, no takers. Divine energy will allow a man to not feel emasculated, even if a woman is making more money. It takes divine energy for a man to still feel like a man and feel like he has purpose outside of providing. For most men, they struggle to find their purpose outside of their career and their provision. And so in order for you to understand men, you have to take the time to learn men. And it's actually beautiful. I gave the analogy of the knight. Men are like knights. And they just are wired. They are wired to save the damsel in distress. They are wired for that. Okay? Outside of divine energy, just natural matrix energy, masculine men are wired to save the damsel in distress. But when the damsel is no longer in distress, they literally don't know what to do. They're like, what's the purpose? Why am I here? So if you understand that it's not about him being immature, which is such a judgmental thing to say, it's about the man feeling lost. If you see a little child lost in the grocery store, you don't go, oh, how immature. You empathize with him and you try to help him find what he's looking for. This is why divine feminine energy can actually assist you. Because, hey Terry, because if you are offending him in his masculine energy, you are repelling him in his masculine energy, you can actually compensate with your feminine. You can reassure. You can let him know that this check, it doesn't represent who is running things. This check does not diminish my respect for you. This check has nothing to do with who you are as a man. But that is something psychologically a lot of women don't know how to tap into. They actually do the opposite. They hold that check over his head. Oh, you think you're running things? I'm sorry, how many zeros are after my check? Oh, and how many? Oh, okay, fall back. That is why it's called wearing the pants. So many women have tapped into masculine energy to the point where they almost hate men. The idea of submitting to a man is repulsive to them, and they wonder why a man who is wired to need respect, he's literally designed by God to need that. Just like you're designed by God to require love. He's designed by God to require respect. It is like that little operation game. Remember that operation game when you take the tweezers and you hit the side? You're okay as long as you don't hit that side. Once you hit that side, When you don't respect a man, when you don't love on a woman, we are wired, think electricity, that game, wired that way. They don't say, let me get offended. No, they are wired that way. Men are wired to be the provider. Macho man. Think of what boys do. They look at each other and they're like, I bet you can't do this. Yes, I can. That's how they break so many bones and tear things and cut themselves, because they want to see who can be the toughest and the bravest, because they are wired to be protectors. Men are not into women, that sounded wrong. Men are not into marriage when they're really, really young, because they are wired to focus on getting the bag first. A man who loves a woman, thank you, love. Thank you, love. Thank you for the badge. A man who loves a woman would never want to bring her into a shaky foundation. So men feel like, you know what? Let me go out. Let me secure everything. Let me make sure it's good. It's kind of like you as a mama. You go out in the car first. You heat it up. You make sure that the kid's bundled. You don't just run outside in a blizzard. You go out and you do what you need to do to take care of your baby, so the baby's in the most comfortable position when it comes outside. That is what a real man does. Okay? I use that on purpose. Okay? Because a man who is high in masculine energy wants to provide. The thing is that it becomes toxic if he's not needed for provision and he falls apart. But again, don't judge him. He's the little boy lost in the grocery store. You don't ridicule him. You find out what you can do to compensate. And so if you don't want to let go of that thing that is giving the masculine energy, you have to compensate somewhere else. Subconsciously, we have to find equilibrium when it comes to balance. So if a woman is lording her career and her money over a man, constantly saying, there's nothing you can do for me. I don't need anything from you. Get away from me. That's what she's saying. Subconsciously, get away from me. Thank you, love. So you are subconsciously saying to the man, get away from me. You're not needed. Get away from me. You're not needed. Get away from me. You're not needed. And you're wondering why he gets away from you. He doesn't feel like he's wanted or needed. At least if he feels wanted, that's half the battle. But most men want to feel needed. Ironically, women were the opposite. We want to feel wanted. Why? Because we're not wired to provide. Therefore, when a man needs us, we feel used. Oh, he just needs me because I have a car. Oh, he just needs me because I got a house. Oh, he just needs me because I just got my tax return. And yet, men go through this all the time. Somebody said that, Mike from my YouTube show, he said, women complain about one-night stands. Oh, but men suffer from one-night dates. You don't know how many women call men up just when they're hungry. Women who don't want to spend their own money, so they'll just call a man and use him for his money. Or they use him to make the other guy jealous. They don't actually like him, but they're waiting and they don't want to seem too needy. I hate when people say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I'm sorry, but people aren't eggs. They have actual feelings. So while you're over here marinating on your basket, trying to get validation from these people who are stroking your ego, all the other eggs are getting hurt because they're giving you 100%. They're trying to win your heart, and you never wanted them to begin with. You just were trying to use them to keep yourself from seeming too needy with the guy you actually like. That's why I talk about the spirit of desperation. If you get rid of the spirit of desperation, you can date one by one. No wonder people can't actually connect, because you're trying to do 1 on 11. 1-on-1. Let's meet. Let's see if we vibe. Let's see if we connect. If not, God bless you, move on. Don't waste people's time. It's their most valuable commodity. How many women have had men waste 6 years of their good good childbearing years. How many women have wasted 10 years with a man who was just shooting the breeze, who just enjoyed having wifey, perks? And now she's frittered away 10 years of her reproductive time. Thank you, love. I'm trying to teach this stuff, you guys, in my course, but I haven't figured out a way to put cute little bows on it to where people listen. This stuff will change your life. This stuff is what is restoring my family. I'm working with couples who are on the verge of divorce and they're falling back in love. People who are about to throw in the towel and say, maybe we shouldn't get married, are falling back in love. I'm trying to teach you guys a better way. And women, if you want a career, but you also want a man, understand you have to work harder, pun intended. You have to work so much harder to be feminine. It's like the woman who came on my show and she said, I make more than my man, and I come home, and even though I'm tired, I make food. I provide for him for food. I take care. That's a lot. She's better than me. Because I'm so feminine. I'm like, I ain't trying to work at all as far as provision. I want to work for a hobby. And I should, maybe hers is for a hobby too. I don't know, but she makes really good money. But for me, I don't want to feel the pressure. I'll put it this way. Let me scratch that. It's not that I don't want to work. I don't want to feel the pressure of provision. So if I do coaching, I want to be able to take a month off if I feel overwhelmed. If I do coaching and I don't want to take any clients right now because I want to focus on my kids, I want to do that. Right now, it's my birthday week, and I stopped my calendar. Whoever wasn't already on can't book. My calendar is blocked for this week. Why? Because I can. That's feminine energy. I felt like I was exerting myself too much, and it was taking me out of my feminine energy, and I did not like that. I do not like being my masculine energy. I'll do it for a minute out of necessity, but I don't have peace there. I'm at peace when I'm in my feminine. So I want to coach when I feel like coaching. And can we be honest? The way I'm usually taken care of, I don't even have to cook if I don't feel like it. That's what the staff is for. I'm sorry, I was raised this way. I have a daddy who loves to spoil me. My daddy said, I will build a wing on the house if I need to keep you at home. You should not be out in the world without a husband. That's feminine energy. It feels amazing. And I want women to experience that. And all these women who think that they like their masculine energy, they think they like the job. No, my love. You either enjoy the creativeness that allows you, or you are seeking your identity in a career. That is rooted in fear. And perfect love casts out fear. I wrote down the reasons why women said that they get a career. One of them said, and it was very profound, she said, my mother and grandmother felt obligated to stay. My grandmother did not submit to my grandfather out of choice. She submitted out of obligation, and it caused her to be resentful. So she tried to course correct, but she pushed the pendulum all the way the other way. Instead of saying, pick a better partner, she said, don't pick a partner at all. Pick a career. Now, this is where grandmother, meaning well, didn't help her grandbaby, because she's not aware that a woman is not happy out of her feminine energy. And if you don't think that I'm telling you the truth, hello, what is the issue of this whole post? I don't want to marry a man who makes less than me. Why? Because it takes you out of your feminine energy. Is anyone getting this, what I'm saying? You just want to feel safe. That's why you're working. The idea that you are providing and holding down your household disgusts you. Because feminine energy is repulsed by feminine energy. When it comes to a partner, and some women are repulsed by other women too. There's a lot of cattiness. But I'm telling you, ladies, everyone who was trying to come for me, I don't make this stuff up. It's just the facts. So some people were like me. I had to work for a little while. I worked for maybe a year or two, and it was by choice because I was rebellious. I didn't want to be under my daddy's roof because he was really strict. So I was like, oh, I'll go out and get a place. And I got this tiny little studio apartment, and I had to work, and I hated it. I busted my tail. I was so good at my job. I was so good at my job as a salesperson that my boss would come over and get pissed at me, like, get off the phone. Because he would hear the way I was talking and he assumed I was on the phone with a friend. And I'd have to put the phone on mute. And I'm like, it's a customer. Because I had the natural ability to speak. So by 2 minutes in, we laughing and talking like we're old friends. I got this huge whale of an account. It was so hard to get it. I had like no support on the back end with all the product managers, but I still managed to salvage the account. I'm talking huge whale of an account. And my boss comes to me the next day, doesn't really compliment me. The next day he's like, all right, it's another day. And I'm like, that's it? It took months to land this big whale of an account, and just, it's Tuesday now, move on. That was Monday. I was like, this is not for me. This is not for me. So the second I peed on a stick and found out I was going to be a mom, put in my 2 weeks notice. I was out of there. My feminine energy does not like competition. Oh, no. I don't compete for what I have. I just receive what is freely given. I don't force to happen. I allow it to happen. What are the other reasons that they said? Their grandparents encouraged them, our grandmas and moms encouraged them not to. The other thing is that they're not finding enough men out there who have the masculine energy that they need to feel safe. And they're scared that if they get into this situation, they're going to have the rug pulled out underneath them. But guess what? You can't control the men. So some people think I'm giving the men a pass. No, I'm talking to women. So if I'm talking to a woman, I'm never going to say control someone else, because you can't. That's like me saying control the waves. You'll have a better boating experience. I'm sorry. No, I'll just teach you how to ride your boat better. Ride your boat, steer your boat. You can't change a person, just like a man can't change a woman. What you can do is learn about life and start playing by the rules. That is why I started. This is full circle. If you understand masculine energy is repelled by masculine energy, if you still want to keep your masculine energy because you're afraid to be in your feminine, then you better compensate and throw on that feminine energy. You better rock his world in bed. You better be sweet and kind. You better be cooking for that man every day in the matrix. But if you get yourself a man who has divine energy, there's a friend of mine, I won't say his name, but he has divine energy. But it's not common to see that. And the other thing is that a lot of these men who have high feminine energy, women overlook them. Men who have high feminine energy are creatives. Creatives tend to make less money too. Ironically, I just put those two things together. But a lot of these men are creatives. They have passions. So they're either like speakers or teachers or artists. They're creatives, they create. And a lot of these professions don't make that much. So a lot of these men exude what's perceived as feminine energy, which it is. And so women are overlooking them. They want the big masculine, the go-getter, I'm gonna make that money, get that bag. That's fine. But understand that those men who are masculine, they're not going for the masculine woman. They're just not. You literally need to find a unicorn. A unicorn. Unicorns are made out of divine energy. I should call it unicorn energy. All right. I feel like this is not landing with people. The answers are right there, but you gotta want them. You gotta seek them. You gotta want to know the truth. You can't just keep trying to force your will. Take your will, that's fine, so you have direction, but learn what works and learn what doesn't work and let go of what's not serving you. If you have to force it, it's not for you. You're a woman. You have feminine energy. Allow. Invite. Don't force. Because all you're going to do is repel the very thing that you want. Ma'am. She cracking up, and I'm trying to have a serious moment. Her TikTok is really the business right now. Thank you so much. Okay, so you do that. I'm like, tap, is this thing on? I'm trying to give y'all some good stuff, and it's like crickets. So thank you. Is there any woman who would like to come on before I go? And you don't have to turn your camera on, by the way. You have the ability to turn the video off. But I would like to answer any questions if anyone would like to. I tried to teach this in the course, but I haven't figured out how to market it to where people even get what it is to even want it. So I may as well just give it for free right now. So I will give you my $1,000 course for free to anyone who wants to ask. But you got like 2 minutes to request. Literally, it's a $1,000 course. I'm going to give it for free to anyone who wants to come on in the next 2 to 3 minutes. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Queen. Thank you for the badge. All right, I'll wait 2 more minutes if anyone wants to jump on here and ask any questions. It's funny, I was saying to somebody, you literally can't give stuff away for free. I come to listen whenever you're on. Oh, thank you, love. Any questions? Any questions? I'll wait 1 more minute. I want women and men to experience peace. Thank you, Samara. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. All right, y'all pray for me that this is a legit thing. Really, really horrific live stream guest experience. So, is it too late? Is the topic divine energy? Yes, I was leaving. Hello, sir.
Good
Please
evening.
promise me you're not going to be creepy. I had a creepy experience that left me traumatized.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I was really traumatized. So far I can tell you're not creepy, so thank you.
So my question asked him about a boss baby. You mean like they secure the bag and stuff like that? Okay. I was also like the boss baby, like I think about like the movie Boss Baby, but
yeah, there's a whole trending thing called boss babe. Like I'm a boss babe. It's all about being a provider, not needing, a lot of it comes with not needing a man. It's like I can do it on my own. I'm a boss. Respect me, respect my bag. I don't need a man. I only get a man if I want him. That's that. That's what that entails. Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering. So, it depends on because I can remember flashback when I was in middle school. A lot of times, women can do would do it without a man because a lot of times when they're younger, they want to do their own way. A lot of times they're younger in the middle school, stuff like that. When they get older, they maybe need that submission in life and to have that in life to develop more awareness. But when you're younger in that mindset, you're just developing more so and wiser.
Yeah.
So yes,
So
ma'am.
keep praying for these women, because when they know better, they will do better. I promise.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. All right. If anyone else has a question, thank you.
You're
If
welcome.
anyone else has a question, you can put the request in. Let me know. Just hit that request button at the bottom. I will take other questions if people have them. I want you to win. I genuinely don't know any other content creator who is encouraging women without bashing men at the same time, but also teaching women the truth. I think a lot of people, they're called panders, but I would never label someone a pander, because a lot of people, myself included, are really doing their best. And so people are teaching what they truly believe. But some people just might not have the truth. Shoot, I've had to course correct a million times in my content, because as I learned things, I was like, oh, let me go back and readjust that. Oh, let me go back and readjust it. I was never pandering. I've never pandered, but I could have spoken out of ignorance before. So last chance, if anyone would like to ask a question, ladies, if you have any questions about being a boss babe. All right, pray for me, y'all. I told you I had a creepy experience, so I'm always a little triggered when I get a request and I don't know the person. He said, get that bag. You missed the beginning, I can tell. All right, so we'll see. It's not letting him come on. I'll try one more time. If anyone else would like to come on, feel free to hit that button. Like I said, if you're not ready for the camera, you can always turn your camera off. It's not a problem. But I definitely want to ask questions. Why are you telling me to get the bag then? Why are you telling him to get the bag? You got to give me context, sir. Feel free to come on if you want. I'm sorry, Deuce. I'm trying to let you in, but it won't. If anyone else wants to come on, let me know. And you're always so active on my page, so I'm trying to let you in, but it's not letting me for whatever reason. Oh, you one of them. It's not. I don't know why it's not letting you connect. So anyone else wants to join, speak now or forever hold your peace. I legitimately charge $1,000 for this, so if you guys want to get on. Okay, so I'll be right back. 2 decades ago, I dated a man who took care of everything, was amazing. All I had to be was my feminine self, and he was happy that I had creative passion as well. Yes. David, did you hear from the beginning? That comment, I'm wondering if you tuned in from the beginning. But if anyone has any questions, why I encourage women to not be. Oh, there it is. It's working. Hi.
Hello? Hey, Yancy,
I
how you
am
doing?
amazing. How are you, sir?
Doing good. I'm coming in on the tail end, and as a result, I don't really want to hold up the conversation. I just want to say thank you for all the content that you put out. And I'm going to have to wait for you to post this, and I'm going to have to go back and catch the, I think it was part 4 of the last series. Very good stuff. So I'm going to be patient, just wait to get all of that, and, just step to the side now. Just wait for the rest of the questions to
Oh,
come on
thank
in.
you.
But thank you so
I
much for all
appreciate
that you've
that.
done.
And we really didn't accomplish much on the part 4, to be perfectly honest, because none of the women showed up.
Stop playing.
No,
Come
I
on.
literally 3 pages of notes. I was ready to have this conversation, and there were women who showed up, but they weren't advocates for boss babedom. So I'm going to help you lower your expectations for when you watch. It's up there, but yeah, it was. I was disappointed. I was like, let's have the conversation, but nope, nobody stepped up, not even in the comments.
Indeed.
So very interesting, because there
Wow.
were tons of opinions on the post, but none of them having the conversation in person. So
It's kind of like you mentioned earlier. You literally can't give this stuff away sometimes.
Tony Robbins said he would legitimately do this for free, but he found that human
Mm-hmm.
psychology is, if you do, people don't value it. So if I stood on the corner and
Right.
genuinely had $100,000 check, I would have to
Mm-hmm.
beg people before I could get someone to take it, because they would be like, no, it has to be a scam. You must be trying to hack
Right.
into my account. Like, I I would
Hmm.
not be able to give away $100,000. People say, "Oh, I would take it." No, 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 not if I was a random stranger.
Right.
You would not.
Right.
Statistics show
Right.
otherwise. So yeah, it's really sad. Like this stuff is life changing. It's literally changed my life, and I can't get people to, many, some do take it, but I struggle getting people to even like recognize what's being given to them. So
My,
yeah,
my,
but pray
my.
for me.
Yes, ma'am. Have a
Thank you
good
for your
evening.
support. You're always so kind. Thank you. All right, guys, if anyone else wants to join, let me know. Come on now. Speak now or forever hold your peace. This is your chance to get in, express yourself. If you are a woman who feels like people are trying to hold you down, you're trying to get the bag, why can't I have a bag and a man? Come on, ask me your questions. Let's go, let's go. Everyone has something to say on the post. I'm here. Nobody came and took my offer on Monday. I dedicated an entire hour. I want to hear you guys. So is everybody in agreement? Drop a heart in the comments if you're in agreement about feminine energy and everything that I've said so far. If not, come on. You don't even have to have your camera on. There are way too many women who are upset about that post to not have this conversation. Thank you, Queen. So I expect every single person is in agreement with what I'm saying. Otherwise, let's have the conversation. Let's get to the bottom of it. Let's understand why it hurts a woman to be in her masculine energy getting the bag if she desires a relationship with a man. So far we have 2 women who are in agreement. Okay, 3 women are in agreement. All right, so I'm going to assume that I'm preaching to the choir at this point, and that's awesome because that means my work here is done. So it looks like no one has any questions. I'm going to sign off. I will be back in 1 hour. I'm going to be a guest on someone else's live stream. You will not want to miss this. Oh, thank you so much, Lady Andrea. I am going to be on with Kev Hicks, who is like, I'm such a fan of his content. I got a chance to do a video with him before, and we're going to be doing that. It's going to be hosted by CO2 Rawcast. This is his account name, and it's going to be a really interesting conversation. Kev is amazing. I'm such a fan of his work. Harold says, yeah, Kev Hicks. Most of them are operating off of their feelings or false information, I guess. If they can't back up their disagreement, then they should learn humbly. He's awesome. I know. I literally like geeked out a little bit. I had like a fangirl moment the first time when he started following me. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm such a fan of content. And when people are able to, he really breaks down the male mind in a way that's not belittling and offensive to women. And so I really became a fan of his work. So finding out that he likes my content and, collaborating with me, I was like thrilled. So I'm excited. We're going to do a second one in an hour. All right, guys. Until next time, tell somebody that you love them. And I hope it's apparent how much I love you.